All right. So today we're doing this guy, the Dark Needle. This guy's got like a British accent. I forgot to mention at the start when we're doing this playlist, I don't want to do any AI content. This is AI content, but it's an actual guy that makes it. So I don't like those channels where it's just completely like AI voiceover plus, you know, the visuals and everything. So this guy, you know, uses whatever software. He does like, you know, all his thumbnails and animations, but it's a dude talking. He's got like a community. I don't know if it's got like a Discord. He's got like a private community, coaching community. All right. So I think I did one of his videos. Actually, I had a clip, but I don't think I uploaded it. We started with Taraban. We're not finished with Taraban. We'll get back to Taraban, like, you know, throughout this series, throughout the playlist. This guy is probably more, same niche, probably a little bit less intellectual, but they're pretty similar in terms of like their depth and their niche. I think they're like, their terminology, their style and approach, you know, when it comes to understanding, especially women's psychology. He sounds younger, but I'm comparing it to Taraban's. Like, all right, it's different niche, different visuals and everything, but the content, what if you watch it, is actually very similar. It's got the same kind of agenda. It's coming from the same consciousness, if that makes sense, right? Like on how they view the feminine psyche and what the feminine role is when it comes to your development and your maturity. Okay. I should have chose the video before I started, but I've watched a lot of his videos, honestly, like probably not even on this account, but even like a while ago, last year, even a couple of years ago, I remember seeing his channel, watched a few of his videos. So let's read his description. Mental program in your early years by society to possess this personality and this amount of confidence, fear and charisma, only to find yourself playing a limited role in life that someone else chose for you. Then I will show you the path at the end of which you will find the life you dream of. Sounds like some kind of enchanting riddle, like out of a Shrek movie. What's his name? Rumpelstiltskin, you know? Look, I'm not gonna start, you know, ripping in just yet, but I've got a course. I didn't know I had a course. Dark Needle Academy. Wow. All right, free ebook. Man, these dudes are smart. Business, man. This guy's an entrepreneur. This is entrepreneurship. This is entrepreneurship. Anyway. All right. Let's go to something not too recent. All right. The full no BS guide. Things women secretly love in men but won't tell you. Free course. A course implies, you know, that you've got some kind of information to sell, right? I mean, if you're selling information from life experience, I guess, you know, that could be valuable. Five signs you're a highly attractive man. Wow, man, this is going to take a while. Just to divert a little bit, I wanted to show you maybe a level up as well. We'll get to this guy, LFA. I've watched some of his, no, not many. I think I've watched a couple of his videos. He's pretty popular. I like the videos that I watched. There's this guy that I want to watch because he focuses more on like dating and stuff. There's another guy, what's his name? Elisha Long or something, which got pretty trendy last year. You've probably seen him. I don't know if he's too much. I think he's more on like just like day-to-day life and overall mental health. I don't know if he's focuses on like masculine and feminine psychology, whereas this guy kind of does. LFA. All right, so Dark Needle. All right, you can see he's very YouTubey. You know, the titles and the thumbnails. You know, the fonts, the headings. If she's sending you mixed signals, do this. How to get any girl without getting rejected. Come on, man. Unethical way to attract women. It's a bit of a hard one, guys. I know. It's a bit of a hard one trying to choose, you know. 5 signs you're a highly attractive man. Let's do this one. To get an initial understanding on what masculinity looks like to this guy. All right, let's start with this one. Sorry about the ads. It's gonna.
If you think this video will simply show you signs that you often see and give you a little ego boost, like most of the videos on YouTube, then I'm sorry, you're mistaken. I'm gonna give you the signs that actually mean you're a highly attractive man if they show up in your life.
Already I could see, you know, think psychologically here. It's like very captivating. He blurs them out. It's all right. So you can just start to get the vibe that it's very YouTubey. So I'm leaning to more of a YouTuber kind of niche, more than psychology, right? Because it's like keeps you blurred. It's keeps you captivated. You want to know what the headings are. You know that he's blurred out. So it's very what's it called? Engaging, I guess. Keeps you interested. Very YouTubey. Right.
The first sign is that you see yourself as a highly attractive man. Look, I've seen many guys in my life who don't have any physical attractiveness at all, but they're successful with women because of one thing, the mindset that makes them believe they're attractive. Why? Because the moment you believe you're attractive, your actions and behavior automatically become attractive to women. I've seen dozens of guys in my life who look awful, but because they think of themselves as attractive, they end up doing better with women than the guy who is actually good looking. What I mean here is, when you see yourself as attractive, you begin interpreting everything you see as a sign of interest. Literally, you become delusional. Did a girl look at you? You instantly interpret that as her being into you. Did a girl reject you? You assume she's playing hard to get because she likes you. Did you see her talking to another guy in front of you? You assume she's doing it to make you jealous and pull you closer because she likes you. This isn't necessarily true, and most of the time it's wrong. But when this pattern exists in your brain, you unconsciously start attracting girls through your behavior. Let me explain this further with an example. I'm sure at some point in your life,
just talking a bit of nonchalant. Just be a bit nonchalant, you know what I mean? A bit delusional. That's fine.
You've seen a guy chase a girl and they ended up together. Normally, if you're a rational person living on this planet, you know that once you chase a girl, she usually loses interest. And yet, you've probably seen a guy chasing girls and still succeeding with them. On the other hand, there's a guy who spends the whole day chasing girls and always gets rejected. What's the difference between the two? It's exactly this mindset. The first guy chases her because he believes he's attractive and that she wants him. So he goes after her with confidence. He might see signs of rejection, but he simply interprets it as her playing hard to forget. He keeps talking to her and laughing like nothing happened. When she pushes back, he doesn't take it personally. He laughs and teases her. And the movie continues until she falls for him because he showed her confidence and dominance. The second guy, though, chases her because he wants her to like him. So he starts complimenting her, buying her gifts, and acting super nice just to earn her approval. And that's exactly when she starts seeing him as a nice guy or just a friend. By the way, let me step away from the topic for a second to explain something important. Next time you're talking to a girl, whether she's your girlfriend, your wife, or just some girl, and you want to say or do something, ask yourself, will this make her think I believe she likes me or that I believe she doesn't? That's a very important distinction when it comes to women. When a woman senses that you think she's not into you, like when you start complimenting her too much, or you're afraid to disagree with her, or you buy her gifts to win her approval, your attractiveness drops instantly. Anyway, let's get back to the main point. If we have got to the point where...
Sorry about the ads.
Asked you, are you a highly attractive man? And your answer was yes. Congratulations, you are an attractive man. But if your answer was no, or I don't know, or I'm not sure, then let me tell you, you're probably not a highly attractive man. And if there's only one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. Learn to always interpret a woman's actions in your favor. Because look, in this life, a lot of events will happen to you, but those events aren't what shape your reality. Your interpretation of them is. Example, you wake up in the morning and it's raining. If you interpret the rain as something depressing, you'll have a depressing day. But if you interpret it as a chance to stay in and relax, you'll have a beautiful, peaceful day. That's why interpretation is the lens through which you see life. And it's what shapes your behavior. Events don't control your actions. It's how you see those events that controls your life. And that lens, it plays the biggest role in your...
It's good. He's just talking about perspective, like maturity. You know what I mean? It's like, he's just talking about, don't take it personal. For lack of better words. What he means, I believe, to say is, the guy chasing the girl all day, getting rejected, and then the woman can sense that he doesn't find or see himself as attractive. When you take the rejection personally, it's narcissism, right? It's narcissistic. Now, I don't know his definition of these words that they probably use pretty broadly. Like he's probably just got this, niche YouTube trend definition, just like the rest of the influencers and especially the female influencers. When it comes to narcissism, her feminine subconscious, yes, not just sense, it knows when your masculine unconscious has idealized her, right? And she's unconsciously aware of your projected self onto her. Now, the reason why her behavior drives you insane, is because she's telling you this through her behavior. So she's telling you that, you're not confident enough for me, but she's doing it unconsciously. So it's so frustrating, and you can't just put your finger on, you can't accuse her of this bad behavior because she's not doing it really with her words, or like her behavior is that subtle that, it makes you feel rejected, right? But she's doing it unconsciously. When you place your ego at the center of her world, right? Something transpersonal to you. That is narcissism, all right? And yes, she can sense that. It's her feminine subconscious. It's her magician archetype, right? The magician archetype, remember, is responsible for like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's hard to think of the words on the spot. Responsible for detecting all of the transferences that your conscious ego is making. So your inner magician knows what archetype you're projecting onto someone or something, right? So the magician is aware when you're projecting your warrior onto your partner, or when you're projecting your lover, or your royal, your king, your center, right? Remember, the royal is the center. When you're projecting your center onto her or another person, your magician, your archetype, your primitive subconscious is aware of that, and so is hers, right? So anytime that you're projecting your archetypal self, which is the center of your subconscious, that is narcissism, my friend. And when you do it with a girl, usually it's lust. I want to elaborate exactly what I mean, don't worry. We'll try and finish the video.
Relationships with women, so pay close attention to what I'm telling you. I'm giving you one of the biggest secrets to success with women. If someone ever asks you, what determines whether you'll succeed with a girl? Tell them, the way I interpret her behavior. From this moment on, I want you to interpret any behavior a woman does, whether she's your girlfriend, your wife, or someone you're dating, as something she's doing because she likes you. And by doing that, you'll start rewiring your brain, little by little, to always behave in ways that naturally make her more attracted to you, and eventually fall for you. And by the way,
sounds like a lot of
if you
effort.
want to learn even more details and have a proven psychological weapon to get any woman you want, you'll find a link to my online course in the description. The second sign is that girls laugh at what you say, while guys don't. Let me explain this further. The first thing I want you to understand is that there's a big difference between a girl laughing because you're attractive and a girl laughing because you're funny. Laughter for girls does not mean the same thing it does for guys. Women use laughter more as a tool for emotional bonding. It's
True.
less about something being genuinely funny and more about showing agreement, reducing tension, making the other person feel good, signaling interest or attraction. For example, when you're talking to someone you admire or need something from, you might start laughing at everything they say, maybe even fake a laugh, just to gain their approval. That's a conscious effort, but for a girl, it's even deeper. She might fake laughter unconsciously. She doesn't even know why she's laughing or why she's doing it. You could be talking to her without even trying to be funny, and you'll still notice her laughing. Or you might be in a group, say something totally normal or tell a weak joke, and the girls start laughing. That laughter, it's not because you're funny, it's because you're attractive. Now you might wonder, why did I say in the beginning? The second sign is, girls laugh at you, but guys don't. Why did I add but guys don't at the end? Because this, my friend, is where the difference shows between a funny guy and an attractive guy. If your guy friends laugh at your jokes the same way girls do, that means you're funny. But if the guys don't laugh as much, or they laugh way less than the girls, then that means you're an attractive man. And if neither the guys nor the girls laugh at your jokes, that means you're neither funny nor attractive. So, in short, what I want you to understand is this. If the girls around you laugh more than the guys do, that means you're a highly attractive man. And since we're already on this point, let me give you the third sign, which is somewhat connected to this one. It's this. If you're in a group, you say something, the girls laugh, but you notice some of the guys remain serious or don't laugh at all. This might mean those guys see you as competition. How? The third sign, other guys see you as competition.
Collaborate with clarity.
I'll try to skip these ads out.
Let me first remind you of a principle I've already mentioned in the How to Attract Women series. Whenever there's a group of guys and girls sitting together, the guys automatically start competing with each other to be the most attractive to the girls. Each one tries to be the funniest, the strongest, the nicest, and that's completely normal. But the moment a very attractive guy shows up in the group, the other men, without even realizing it, begin to feel that they can't compete with him fairly. So what do? Instead of trying to raise their own level, they try to bring his down. That's why they start treating him with rudeness. For example, if you notice a guy trying to belittle you, mock you, or even insult you in front of the girls, that means he's afraid of you because you're an attractive man. Or let's say you tell a joke and the girls, and even
This is a lot more superficial than I was hoping for. See what happens when you hope? Never hope. So he's talking about these guys in or like a social group, all right, which you heard, that that see you as competition, meaning you're attractive. So if you're competition to these bozos, when there's girls in the same group, then you're attractive, right? Now, if guys are suppressing their genuine ego and repressing, let's say, their sense of humor, even when you're saying things that would otherwise make them laugh genuinely, and they're repressing that for the sake of attracting the opposite sex, again, see, back to the lust thing. If these guys outside the group, right, sorry, in the group, but they're, you know, maybe outside your, like, maybe it's your social group where, you know, you're trying to attract this female and there's other guys present there, right? Let's say if you were in whatever public place, or let's say they're even guys that you know. And now you can see their behavior actually changing consciously because there's females now in the group, right? Which I see a lot all the time. I see, you know, guys that I kind of respect at the start when I just get to know them. And then, you know, I'll hang out with them a few times and their behavior completely changes, you know, when they're in the presence of another female, or when a female joins the group, right? All of a sudden, you know, they won't respect me as much, or you know how it is. Like if you're a, you know, guy watching, you know how it is. It's a very common dynamic that happens. Now, it's a common dynamic that happens because lust is very, if not the most rampant phenomenon when it comes to, you know, immature men. Yeah. So, it's kind of hard to bridge the gap between lust and narcissism, right? But when you have, like, you got to understand, all right, you have to don't force it, all right? In Ego and Archetype, in the playlist, it's either part 1 or part 2. I think it's part 2, right? So if you listen to my videos in part 2, right, this is the deep plumbing of what's going on here. Look, this is level 1, level 2, right? Superficial, all right? If there's whatever 10 levels, let's say this, the 7 levels of understanding, right? The commonly known 7 levels of understanding and awareness, right? This goes straight to the bottom. This is telling you the plumbing of what's happening, right? It's telling you that due to your unconscious desire for reproduction, right, there is an emotion and a feeling that your conscious ego has to deal with when around the opposite sex that you are attracted to, which is lust, okay? Now, lust only becomes narcissism when it starts affecting your conscious ego. You understand? So this is what the psychologists are saying. This is their viewpoint. This is what I'm trying to get across. There are feelings and emotions coming out of your subconscious mind that are not, you know, they're transpersonal to your ego. So just because you feel them and you think them does not mean that your ego, you know, is coming up with these feelings or emotions, right? But when the ego changes its behavior, right? You might think I'm veering off, but this is exactly what he's talking about. It's just on such a painfully superficial level. It's painful, man. I know, trust me. See, like he's saying, belittle you, mock you, insult you. This happens. This is a common dynamic. What's the factor here that's causing this, right? It's not personal between you and these bozos, right? It's this factor, right? So now that their conscious ego is behaving in a way that is dictated by the dynamic of a female being introduced, their ego has unconsciously identified with the primitive aspect of their brain, which is of their mind, which is the subconscious, right? Now, he can't really deny any of this, or any of the viewers watching, or if you're understanding what I'm saying, you can't really, I don't see how you can disagree, because he himself talks about the unconscious, implying he already believes that, to understand women and attract women, you have to understand the unconscious, right? So he's talking about the unconscious. He's talking about psychology, right? This is psychology. So I'll get a lot more into, the lust and the narcissism, but you should really go through the playlist of ego and archetype, and the terminology is just there, it's just, you read it in a sentence or you listen to it and it's just bang, 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 and your brain just comprehends, and then bang, you're like, oh, wow. The terminology is the bridge that connects. It's connected, right? You just know it's connected. I'm telling you that the lust is narcissism. It's somehow connected. You just need the terminology to bridge the gap, right? Which he's not doing, obviously. So that should make it clear, right? I don't see now, once you understand that, then there shouldn't be any problem, or there shouldn't be any more desire for you to attract the same female, or feel approved by anyone else in the social group. But we'll continue and we'll see what he says. What are we? Almost half an hour.
Even some guys laugh, but you notice that some of the guys don't laugh at all. Why? Because they don't want to give you the validation. They want to be the one making the girls laugh instead of you. This behavior comes from fear, and because they feel you're much better than they are, they try to pull you down. On the other hand, if you walk into a group of girls and guys, and all the guys welcome you, laugh with you, and don't compete with you, this means one of two things. Either they're very confident in themselves, or you're not attractive at all.
Confident in themselves. He's so superficial. All right, let's go back.
This means into a state to be the one making the dollar joke, and the girls and even some guys laugh. But you notice that some of the guys don't laugh at all. Why? Because they don't want to give you the validation. They want to be the one making the
All right. If they don't want to give you the validation, as if, he's implying that they're able to give you validation, right? Now, they will think that they're able to give you validation because they've identified with their unconscious, primitive desires, right? Which is lust. Attract the opposite sex, survival, reproduction, right? Conscious ego, unconscious, primitive nature, okay? So, these guys that don't laugh, there's lust, right? Narcissism. He talks about the second group of guys.
Girls laugh instead of you. This behavior comes from fear, and because they feel you're much better than they are, they try to pull you down. On the other hand, if you walk into a group of girls and guys, and all the guys welcome you, laugh with you, and don't compete with you, this means
they don't compete with you, meaning their conscious ego has disidentified, right, with their unconscious primitive, right? I call it a lot of names, but it's the unconscious. It's the self, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that they're not attracted to the female. That doesn't mean that they're not trying to attract the female. He's just pointing out a different scenario where The males do not, their egos, because they've withdrawn their archetypal centers, right? They've withdrawn it into their own egos, right? So they're not projecting it outwards onto a female like the previous group, right? Because they're confident, right? He says that it just simply means they're confident, right? But it's maturity. What makes them mature? They've withdrawn their projections. They've withdrawn their center of being, which is the archetypal center, right? From the opposite sex onto their egos, making them unconsciously disidentify with the center of the universe, right? Now they don't take it personally anymore. Whether this girl is laughing so dramatically at some bozo's jokes because she's attracted, they don't feel threatened. Yeah, there is a bit of competition, and they know there's a bit of competition, right? But their existence doesn't depend on it, right? Because they've disidentified with the primitive emotion that is lust. When you make something that's universal and natural to your biology, and you claim it as your own identity, that is narcissism. Do you understand? Like, I know, remember, like I did with Taraban, I'm ripping in that deep, even though it's just unbelievably, it is genuinely, shockingly superficial, honestly. But remember, same intention, I want to go that deep. So if I rip it apart that finely, in that much detail, it crumbles the whole thing. The whole, his whole logic and agenda crumbles, and then it's up to you, obviously, to decide whether, you'll continue watching, agreeing, or whatever. But my intention is to bring the right terminology that will correct, not just criticize, that will correct and expose this immaturity and this lack of consciousness, right? I'm exposing because they're not admitting it's a lack of consciousness, you know what I mean? They're not admitting the deep psychological reasoning behind all of these social dynamics that you do in your day-to-day life, right? And like I said previously, I'm going after them like almost on a personal level because they're claiming to be, psychological experts, with the terminology. So, all right, we'll continue. I don't know if we'll get through another one. We'll try finish this one. Maybe I'll try get through another one.
One of two things. Either they're very confident in themselves, or you're not attractive at all, and they don't feel the slightest bit threatened by you. And the best part of all this, girls notice this kind of competition. Believe me, if you're in a group and someone tries to belittle you or treat you rudely, they pick up on it. They understand that this guy feels threatened by you, and as a result, they begin to see your value and find you even more attractive than before. Of course, if you find yourself in these kinds of situations often, the best way to deal with this kind of competition is don't compete, don't react, because the moment someone tries to bring you down, compete with you, or act rude, he's already lost. All you have to do is keep walking with full confidence and act like the winner, because you are the winner. One small note, never tolerate disrespect. Yes, don't compete, don't try to bring anyone down. But if the competition escalates to the point where someone insults you or disrespects you, that's when you must stop them immediately. You can shut it down with a sharp, clever comeback, or calmly speak to them and tell them not to repeat that behavior, or cut them off completely, or handle it in whatever way you see fit. The fourth sign is one of those things that can be
True.
a little tricky because if it's not done the right way, it might harm you more than help you. And it is. You enjoy the moment more than you focus on achieving a specific goal. Now listen to me carefully because what I'm about to explain is very important. When you're talking to a girl, what's your goal in that conversation? Is it to make her like you, to sleep with her, to get her phone number? Or is it simply to enjoy the conversation with her in that moment? If your answer is the last one, congratulations. You're probably a highly attractive man because look, most guys, when they're talking to a girl, have a specific goal in mind. They want her number. They want her to like them. They want to take her home that night.
It's just lust, bro. It's all right. True, man. Like the woman unconsciously is aware on your relationship with lust. She knows, right? She consents, man. I made a dating video like last year, like months ago, explaining this. Like, you're just talking about lust, bro. You're there living in if you're there living in the present, enjoying the conversation for the sake of having a good conversation with someone, then the outcome of whether you attract this female depends on your relationship with lust, your relationship with your primitive desire to reproduce. Do you understand? Your ego doesn't know if it's identifying with the entire existence of the universe. So that if you consciously pursue a female and she rejects your pursuit, you don't just take it as a simple rejection. Depending on your relationship with lust will depend on how angry you get, how emotional you get. I mean, some guys you hear about all the time, like, on the DMs, and they flip out, they freak out. Like I've heard it so many times, back when I used to when I could be bothered dating, or just like in general, talking to other females, friends, or other girls in seminars when we're talking about this kind of topic. It's like how the guy completely flips, and becomes hostile and attacking, you know what I mean? Because she didn't just reject his attempt at, securing her. He is consciously advertising his identity. This is me. This is who I am. I am a person that if I pursue you, I achieve that, right? And the girl says, no, I'm not interested. He's like, what? How could you reject my identity? This is my identity with this emotion is my whole center of being. This is my reason for existence. And she's rejecting that, you know what I mean? He starts projecting and flipping out and starts swearing, and you know what I mean? I'm sure you've heard of these stories, like, he gets left on scene a couple times and the guy has an emotional meltdown, you know what I mean? You look at that meltdown, you look at how the guy is reacting, and that will indicate to you, man or woman, how identified he is with his unconscious nature, right? So just breaking past the superficial levels, that's what he's talking about, in almost the most superficial way possible. A few more minutes.
Etc. And when a person has a clear and defined goal they're trying to reach, they often fall into a common trap. They start to look needy, like they're trying to prove themselves or win her approval, and that weakens their attractiveness. But if someone goes up to a girl, talks to her, laughs, and simply enjoys the moment without caring whether she likes him or gives him her number or whether anything will happen, then that guy is showing a kind of behavior that says, I don't need this girl, I'm just having fun. He appears as someone...
Not only just, I don't need this girl, I'm just having fun. That doesn't mean he's not attracted to the girl. See? He didn't mention that, did he?
with many options because he's not trying to get anything from her, unlike all the other guys. And at the same time, he creates a kind of emotional curiosity
Yeah, but is he attracted to her? He didn't mention that.
inside the girl because she can't
Because she knows that you're attracted to her. So I said this, maybe I'm gonna do a reaction video on my own dating video that I put up months ago when I wasn't even considering, getting into this niche, right? This guy that's just nonchalant, having fun in the moment, right? Now, it's a lot easier to do when you're not attracted to the girl, man. Right? So why didn't he mention that? That is the difference, bro. That's the fucking make or break, man, on whether she's attracted to you or not. She knows. She's unconsciously aware of your attraction to her, right? So if you're behaving in a way that's sacrificial to your desire to reproduce with her, she is unconsciously aware of your sacrificial relationship when it comes to your lust, bro. And that's what the woman is attracted to. That's what her nature is attracted to. That's what's telling her, this guy's going to keep me alive, primitively. That's the primitive mind. You see how superficial he makes it? Like, I guess that's where the engagement is, you know what I mean? Whether you think you're attractive or not, you're right. What? Okay, yeah, fair enough, that's true. Don't compete, yeah. Fair enough.
predict time, showing a kind of behavior that says, I don't need this girl, I'm just having fun. He appears as someone with many options because he's not trying to get anything from her, unlike all the other guys. And at the same time, he creates a kind of emotional curiosity inside the girl because she can't predict what he's going to do next. She doesn't know what's going on in his head. To her, it's like he's giving her this strange, unfamiliar emotional stimulation, and that kind of behavior becomes extremely attractive to women because he comes off as the mysterious man who's simply enjoying his time without needing anyone, and that quality makes a woman get hooked. But
it's not just mysterious, bro. Like, mysterious. It's deeply psychological, man. Like, she's unconsciously aware, like I said, that you've sacrificed your unhealthy relationship with lust, and you're consciously relating to it, but you're not identifying with it. You haven't placed your ego identity in the outcome of whether she accepts you or not. She senses that, He just thinks it's just you being mysterious.
And here's the problem, if you have this personality, yes, you will be attractive, but you might not get anything in the end, meaning you talk to her, you get her interested, but you walk away without even getting a way to contact her. You end up with nothing. That's why, my friend, yes, it's great to talk to girls without any goal and just enjoy it. And yes, you'll probably seem more attractive if you don't ask for her number or anything else, but what's the point of being attractive if you're not actually getting the girls? At some point, you have to be a little bold and ask for the number directly. And finally, this is the last sign, and it's the most important.
If you're not...
Oh man, this chick, she creeps me out, man. I've seen her come up a couple times.
Meaning, if this sign is present in you, then I'm telling you right now, you are a highly attractive man. People subconsciously seek your validation during emotional moments. To fully explain this rule, I'd need 2 hours of deep discussion because it's a very big topic. But I'll try to...
you could... 2 hours, you could fucking have 1,000 hours of deep discussion and you won't elaborate it properly. He's saying
people
subconsciously need to validate. So like, bro, no schizotype. Remember, no schizophrenia, no hypomania. Okay. People subconsciously see the words that they use. They're all psychological terminology. They're not psychologists, bro. They're not psychologists. This is a psychological symptom. People seek your validation and emotional moments, all right? Sorry, they seek your validation in emotional moments. To me, that just says projection, bro. When people seek your validation to confirm their identity, that is idealization, my friend. He just puts it so simply, so superficially, And he said we could go into 2 hours of deep discussion. I doubt in 100 hours he will be able to elaborate what is happening here. This is, you're talking, you're getting into psychopathology here, my friend. So, I know it's like, oh, everyone's saying, no, bro, relax, it's not that deep, it's not that deep. You're saying it's not that deep, but he's talking about psychology. So, like, what do you want me to... It's subconscious. What people do subconscious to you. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't say, if it's not that deep. It's like he's touching on these topics, that are like, this is an extremely deep topic, but I'm going to stay at the superficial level. So if you elaborate and go that deep, then you're getting too deep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, let's see how deep he goes, if he manages to elaborate on it.
Consciously seek your validation during emotional moments. To fully explain this rule, I'd need 2 hours of deep discussion because it's
bullshit.
a very big topic, but I'll try to explain it to you briefly right now. So listen to me carefully. This rule is made up of 2 parts. Seek your validation during emotional moments. Let me give you an example of each one. One of the ways someone shows they're seeking your validation is eye contact. But of course, that doesn't mean that just because a girl looks at you, she's necessarily attracted to you. She might be looking at you because there's something odd in your face, or because your look is unusual. There are many possibilities. But when people look at you during emotional moments, that's when it becomes clear they're seeking your validation because you're an attractive man. The best example of an emotional moment is laughter. When you're in a group and everyone starts laughing, each person instinctively looks toward the person they admire or are attracted to. And if you notice that a girl, or even a guy, looks at you during that moment, it means that person is impressed by you and sees you as someone of high status. And of course, it's not just laughter. If something unexpected happens, like a loud noise, shocking news, or a sudden twist in a story, people reflexively look toward the person they feel safest with, or the one they feel emotionally in sync with. When people hear great news, win something, or feel excited, they instinctively look for the person they want to share the joy with. And that person is usually someone they admire or feel attracted to. And when someone feels embarrassed or humiliated, they often quickly glance at the person they hope will still accept them, someone whose opinion actually matters to them. These 5 signs are among the strongest signs that, if they exist in you, then you are a
Wow, man, that was weird. Such a weird explanation, man. I can't even be bothered talking about these people idealizing you, with the laughter and looking at you for your acceptance. This guy has to read, bro. This guy just has to read, man. Talking about deep, instinctive. Bro, you're talking psychology, bro. You're talking about deep instinctual behaviors. Talk about what's actually happening in the psyche, bro.
very attractive man. If they're already present in you, that's excellent. But if they're not, it's not the end of the world. As a man, attractiveness isn't just something you're born with. It's something you develop and take control of. So there's nothing wrong if you're not attractive right now, because at the end of the day, it's your decision if you want to change that.
It's painful, man. I've got to try find an even more controversial one. Why her compliments are traps. Less effort makes her want you more. That's a pretty common one. The map of the female mind. The female mind. Does he mean the feminine? Alright, we'll tab that. But I'm trying to find, I watched the one recently that was it was pretty funny, like how controversial it was. How to talk so women whisper. Okay, wait. How to become the masculine... I think he's... Typo. Masculine man? That's got to be a typo. But let's say, all right, how to become the masculine man every girl wants. Now, I'm sure he's not talking about a narcissistic, active, dependent borderline, all right? Like the 90%, okay? Let's see, that every girl wants, right? This is the problem. You know, these bozos with these channels, I don't blame them, bro. Because, all right, 90% of females, right? When you study cross-culture traditions, cross-culture societies, right? You study all patriarchal societies all across the world, right? This is phenomenon. 90% of the males and females show, pathological symptoms. At least 90%. I mean, this is still debated, right? Every year in the institute, right? 80 to 90% can be diagnosed with this narcissistic pathology. Now, these bozos now have just put it as every girl, which is fair enough. I mean, if 90% of females now are unconscious narcissists, then these guys, these influencers, just think that that's the feminine brain. and then they make videos on it. The map of the female. I'm sorry. I haven't even clicked on the videos, bro, and I'm just pissed myself laughing, man. All right, well, where was it? How to become a masculine man. Are we ready? Oh, jeez.
I tried everything.
I guarantee you, what's the bet? He's not going to talk about, the 200 plus hours of masculine psychotherapy there is in the Jungian institutes, especially Chicago, right? Focusing specifically on masculine healing, all right? You're going to do it in 15 minutes. You're going to get to your diagnosis. You're going to get to your symptoms. You're going to get to all of the plumbing of your unconscious psychopathology. And you're going to heal it. Oh, bro. You see, how can you not be schizotypal and hypomanic watching these videos, man? As a student, honestly, right? Anyway, ready? Let's do it. Sorry.
Man with a woman. Man, welcome to your complete guide on how to be a man with a woman. Manhood is one of...
He's your daddy. He's your daddy, boys. Let's watch, alright? He's your daddy. He's going to teach us how to be a man.
The most important qualities women are attracted to, and that's why I want you to listen carefully to this video, because it's one of the most important videos in the How to Attract Women series.
Good.
In this video, I'll explain how to make a woman feel that you are a man.
Good.
What kind of mindset you must have.
Good.
Because in the end, when a woman meets you, the first and most important thing she looks for is a strong man who can face life and its challenges. So, let me share with you 6 principles that I want you to live by and remember for the rest of your life. Principle 1, you have no competitor. The first idea that must be deeply rooted in your mind as a man is this: you have no competitor. There is no man on earth who can take your place or steal the girl who's with you simply because you don't see anyone as your competition. When you truly believe this, the girl automatically feels that no one equals you because you don't act with fear or jealousy. But if you believe someone is competing with you, you'll start acting weak, checking her phone, watching her every move, doubting her, and that's when attraction begins to fade. When you believe
insecurity. All right. Good first principle. Don't be insecure. Remember, it comes back to the lust thing. Disidentify, okay? That is the word here. Disidentification. The woman's subconscious confirms. It scans whether you've disidentified or you haven't.
believe you have no competitor, you actually possess the highest level of self-confidence. Everything in your behavior changes. Your look, your energy, even your presence around her. She feels that confidence without you saying a word, and she feels calm and more attracted to you because your presence sends a quiet message. I don't seek approval, I choose. The mindset of competition and fear is what destroys a man. When you're afraid of losing her, you start behaving in ways that expose your weakness, monitoring, overreacting, and overgiving. At that moment, the roles reverse. You become the one afraid of being replaced, and she becomes the one holding the power. The right mindset is to remain calm and confident, to compete with no one, and to fear no loss. Whoever wants you will stay, and whoever doesn't, leaving doesn't take anything away from you. Let me give you some examples to make this clearer. At the gym, a handsome trainer talks to her. You don't change your tone, raise your voice, or rush to compare yourself. You finish your workout, then say something short and polite if necessary. On social media, guys leave comments on her pictures. You don't join the who comments more contest. Your value isn't measured by emojis. With her ex, if she mentions him casually, you don't get nervous. The past is her mirror, not your measurement. With a richer or more handsome man, don't compare his traits to yours. You are a complete system of values, attitude, boundaries, leadership, energy. Sometimes personality beats resources. In a group of friends, joking may turn into teasing. You just smile and calmly change the topic. You don't join an unnecessary battle. But please, avoid these common mistakes I see many guys make. Turning no competitor into empty arrogance. Showing off, looking down on others. That's not confidence, that's disguised fear. Acting like the fake indifferent type. You pretend you don't care while burning inside. The result is mixed signals she easily detects. Over-explaining, those who keep saying I'm not jealous usually are. Silent confidence speaks louder. Loud comparison, pointing out other men's flaws to look better. The man with no competitor.
Wasn't this about how to be a man with your woman? Alright, okay, fair enough. I agree with this so far.
Doesn't need to tear others down to stand out. Another example, she says, Bob made me laugh today. You say, nice, laughter is healthy. Then you change the topic to something meaningful between you. No interrogation, no sarcastic comment, no attempt to steal the spotlight. The message is, I am not threatened. If you ever feel a strong wave of jealousy.
I mean, this whole principle, his whole first principle is, bro, it's just 2 words, bro. 2 words, man. Stop idealizing, or don't idealize. Everything that he's saying, where the man has to get the approval from the woman, his behavior has to be approved, for his conscious identity to exist in the relationship, means that he's unconsciously idealizing. We all do it, brother. I've done it for years. I've done it, me and my ex, we've done it to each other. You do it. Like 90% of the first relationships, whether it lasts a year, 2 years, 3 years, or a 40-year marriage, 90% of the time it's idealization, right? And then when the idealization stops, the transference breaks, either from the girl or the guy, it ends, right? What a mercy from God. I didn't have to go through a 30-year marriage for the idealization to break, right? It was a couple-year immature relationship, just like all the others that I hear about, whether it's, friends in different cultures. Stop idealizing. Like, look at the amount of cinematic editing. Fair enough. I mean, if this is how you get the point across to non-psychologically aware viewers, which are the fucking vast majority, man. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, this guy's got it. Moral of the story, do it for you, not any other women. And whatever will be, will be.
Jealousy. Don't respond immediately. Delay your reply. Give yourself 12 hours before reacting. You'll be surprised how the illusion of threat fades away. No competitor is a way of living. Your power isn't in proving you're the best. It's in staying centered in your frame even if no one approves.
Centered.
That's the kind of confidence that ignites attraction and keeps you the leader of your life.
Withdrawal projection, your archetype, right? That's maturity, right? He's talking about it, but just superficial. I just want you, as my viewer, not his viewer, just dive deeper into the psychology so you can actually heal, right? You have to understand what you're doing, and then you can stop doing it, right? Just become conscious to it. You withdraw your projection of your true self, your archetypal healed self. You're projecting onto not just the female, anyone, right? Usually it's the opposite sex. Usually it's the intimate partner, okay? And you just withdraw it. I mean, not in a 15-minute YouTube video. I don't know. It could take you, one video. Maybe it could. Maybe you have to go through 3 divorces. I don't know. Like, it's very obviously subjective. So maybe I'm being a bit too, bit too critical, but it's just painful to watch, man. Sorry.
Life's rhythm. Principle 2. Your purpose and goals come before the goal.
True.
A real man places his purpose and goals in life above any relationship.
True.
When you make the goal more important than your goals, you lose her respect because she feels that you've lost your direction.
True.
When she sees that you put your work, ambition, and success first, she feels safe with you because she knows you're the leader of your life. A woman doesn't want a man who revolves around her. She wants a man who revolves around his own vision. Why is this principle essential? Because attraction is built on leadership and direction. A man with an internal compass doesn't get distracted by emotional waves. Having a clear mission shifts your energy from reaction to action and from justification to achievement. And the woman, even if she doesn't say it, tests whether you have an independent path or if you're waiting for her guidance. And on
Most people using ChatGPT and
Sorry about the stupid ads.
the chance to explain one of the most important concepts you must know to succeed in relationships: the difference between care and centrality. Healthy care, being present, listening, and appreciating her presence without changing your path. Unhealthy centrality, cancelling your plans, neglecting your projects, and reshaping your day around her mood. The first increases your value, the second dissolves it. A girl respects a man who makes her feel like a beautiful addition to his life, not the center of it. Let me give you some examples. At work, you have an important deadline tomorrow. She suggests going out late. Your confident answer: I have a deadline early in the morning. Let's postpone it to tomorrow afternoon. No excessive apologies, no drama. Just a simple arrangement that keeps the goal intact. In your routine, your workout time is fixed. Don't cancel it every time an unexpected plan appears. Your consistency sends an unspoken message: I lead my time. In finances, have a monthly budget for your projects, courses, and self-development before leisure expenses. Without financial discipline, your goal becomes just talk. In relationships, if you notice she's consuming your time without progress or respect for your boundaries, reduce your investment and redirect your energy towards your purpose. In conclusion, your purpose isn't against her. It protects both of you. When your compass is clear, the relationship becomes safer and more attractive. A woman doesn't want to be your project. She wants to be the partner of a man who has one. Put your vision first, set your boundaries, and give her a mature presence that doesn't swallow your mission. That's how you keep both her respect and yourself at the same time. By the way, if you want to go beyond this video to learn the advanced psychology, behaviors, and conversation patterns that make women feel your presence without you trying,
Advanced
that's
psychology.
exactly what I teach step by step inside my course, The Attraction Algorithm. The link is in the description. Principle 3, no fear. Fear is the enemy of manhood. A woman is not attracted to a man who fears losing her or fears expressing his opinion. When she feels that you are afraid, her sense of safety with you decreases, and so does your value in her eyes. Manhood means expressing yourself boldly, deciding with confidence, and not fearing the outcome. The fear of losing her makes her stop fearing losing you, and when the idea of loss disappears from her mind, attraction fades. She is drawn to the man she could lose if things don't align, not to the one who cannot live without her. How does fearlessness look in daily behavior? You speak clearly in one short sentence instead of a long speech. This works for me, this doesn't. Decisive short decisions. I have work today, let's go out tomorrow at 6. No extra explanations. Stability under pressure. You don't raise your voice, don't threaten, don't beg. Your calmness is your strength. Acceptance of results. If she doesn't like your frame, you wish her well and move on. Quick practical examples. She tests your jealousy by mentioning another man. You smile and change the topic. Nice. By the way, I finished my workouts for the week and I have a project due. A sudden request cancels your plans. I'd like to, but I already have a set appointment. Let's do Friday. An escalating argument. I prefer talking without accusations. Let's continue after half an hour. Your communication boundaries. I reply between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Outside that, I answer when I'm free. And let me give you a 4-step strategy that I want you to remember for life. 1. Name the behavior calmly. I noticed a comment that disrespected me. 2. Express briefly. That's not acceptable to me. 3. Offer a simple alternative. We can joke, but without insults. 4. If it happens again,
This is very weird. I mean, I don't know. I've never, like, everything is pretty good, you know, but I've never really spoken to females like this. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really seem as realistic. It's more like friendly. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about dating, you know, in the dating life. Is he saying say this, or this is just what you do? If it repeats, we'll lessen our meetings.
If it repeats, we'll lessen our meetings, and you stick to what you said. Don't make defensive explanations. Don't play the victim. Don't compare yourself to others. Another example, she says, why don't you reply quickly? You, I turn off notifications during work. I reply between 6 and 8 in the evening. She, what if I need you urgently? You, if it's an emergency, I'll reply right away. Otherwise, the schedule stays the same. Clarity, without excessive apologies, and boundaries that can be applied. And before moving to the next principle, here's the mindset you must have to succeed in relationships. The real loss is not losing her. The real loss is losing your self-respect just to keep her. Courage is not shouting. Courage is disciplined silence, clear boundaries, and accepting results. If you're right for each other, she'll stay. If not, her leaving protects you from the wrong path. That calmness is what keeps attraction alive. Principle 4, do not suffer because of a girl. Do not allow yourself to break because of a girl. Tying your emotional stability to another person's behavior takes control out of your hands. A woman is not attracted to a man who collapses and plays the victim. If she sees you twisting in pain from a word or a situation, she understands that you are unstable, and stability is the pillar of attraction. Imagine a simple situation. She says a hurtful phrase or belittles you in front of others. Naturally, you'll feel upset, but instead of rushing into a spiral of explanations and accusations, take a deep breath and respond with a clear, short sentence. I don't like this tone. Then change the subject or calmly end the conversation. You must refuse to turn your life into a drama arena. There is a big difference between running away from confrontation and choosing the right battlefield, the battlefield of calm and boundaries. Sometimes pain hides under the name of love. You tell yourself, I'm hurting because I care. But the truth is, you're hurting because you handed over your center to someone else. When you love from a place of strength, her behavior becomes information, not wounds. Repeated lateness is information about discipline. Respect is information. Mockery is information too. You handle all that the way an adult handles an angry child, by understanding the context, not taking it personally. This doesn't mean pretending to be cold or acting smart. It simply means not allowing a passing moment to change how you see yourself. She may sometimes test the firmness of your frame by throwing a provoking comment to see, will you lose balance? If you slip into defense mode, raise your voice and send long messages, you've exposed your weak spot. But if you give a short smile and say, let's continue when we're calm, and then actually follow through, you didn't escape, you led the scene. And ironically, her respect for you increases at that moment because you proved that you don't roll downhill with every push. And if the situation truly hurt you, you're human.
I mean, it doesn't always end like that, does it? Like, it's pretty superficial. Like, I mean, that's pretty ideal, you know, if it ends like that, but it doesn't really, you know, these days, you know, let's continue when we're calm. It just doesn't end that way, you know.
But don't turn...
Not disagreeing, 100% agreeing here. We'll try to finish it. I thought, like, the principles were going to be more psychological, to be honest. These are all... I think this guy is just a fan of, like, cognitive psychology. He does go into the subconscious, like in the other videos, but this is just all cognitive behavior. Like, we'll try to finish it. I wanted to get one, try to find one more deep, but I'll do one, like, you know, offline. I'll try and research something pretty controversial and, one of his videos to do more review, like, on that, you know, on a video where he talks more about, like, just the psychological development in your maturity as a man. This is just all behavioral, you know what I mean?
Pain into your identity. Acknowledge your discomfort, then ask yourself, what did I learn? Where should I set a boundary? If a sincere apology comes, good. If the behavior repeats, you quietly withdraw your investment and rearrange her place in your life, without fights or revenge. Not every story is a final battle. The scene that truly kills attraction is when you look like you can't live without her. Long messages, checking her activity, begging for explanations. None of that eases the pain. What eases it is regaining your center.
This is all still in the same principle. I think he's on, what, the third or fourth principle. This is idealization. Regaining your center. Withdrawing your projection, your idealization of her, bro. This is just all in the same principle, you know?
Provocation as an opportunity too. If she throws a demeaning comment, you don't need a long lecture. A simple no is enough. And if the game continues, you're the one who ends it. This isn't the kind of relationship that suits me. Then you stand by your words. Yes, it's hard, but that's what it means to learn instead of suffer. Learning is a decision you repeat, while suffering is a story you retell every night. And the final rule, she often doesn't want to hurt you as much as she wants to see you. She wants to see your backbone. When she finds that you don't shake at every spark, she calms down inside, because you've become a steady reference. You don't explode, you don't run away, and you don't beg for her approval. You clarify, you stand firm, and you move on. If the relationship is healthy, your calmness restores respect. If it's not, your calmness saves you quickly and with minimal loss. Sum it up in one sentence. Take every insult as a lesson defining what you accept and what you reject, not as a dagger you live with. Don't suffer to prove you love. Learn to prove you're a man who leads himself. And if she doesn't appreciate your stability, her departure is a delayed gain, not a loss. Principle 5. Do not change your opinions or lifestyle for her. Do not change yourself for any girl. Your opinions, your way of living, your
Idealization, bro. It's just idealization. You're pedestalizing. Stop pedestalizing. Like,
hobbies.
they're
These
all
are the
them.
things that
This is all in the same principle, man.
form your identity. Look, her means erasing parts of your identity just to fit hers. The first is strength, the second is giving yourself up. In daily life, this shows quick. Life disappears as calmness. You don't over-explain, you don't chase approval, and you don't change your decisions every 5 minutes based on what she says. If she gives you a logical comment, take it with a cool head. If it's just a test or provocation, a short smile is enough, and you continue your day. In summary, listen without attachment, stay firm in your frame, and never let anyone's opinion define your worth. When you do that, you respect yourself first, and that's exactly what makes others respect you. If you reach this far, remember this. Being a man isn't about how loud you speak or how many girls you attract. It's about the quiet control behind your actions. This was The Dark Needle. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.
Oh, love. Hey. I love you. Well, bro, that was... He caught me off guard there, bro. See? He's pretty, you know... I wouldn't say 100% individuated, but he's got the maturity, you know what I mean? He's in touch, he's got the lover, you know what I mean? There's a bit of lover there. Where's my boy? Oh, there's a bit of, you know, he's got a bit of archetypal energy in him, right? And he's not identifying with it, he's relating to it, which I like. But I have watched some of his videos. Touching yourself is self-harm. Okay, the algorithm's just going to go off its head right now. I have watched some of his videos where it's pretty cringe. It's pretty cringe. Little clips, you know. I should have saved them, you know, because I wanted to go into these crazy, funny, cringy ones, as painful as they are to watch. I think I've heard of this, the Barnum effect. The brutal truth that makes 98.7%. That's pretty accurate. It says I've watched a bit of this clip. I can't remember when. It's insanely simple. She will only love you if you dare to break her. Huh. I think we'll leave it there for now. I'll come back to the Dark Needle, alright? We haven't done him justice. We haven't done him justice. I just have to find some of the videos that I really want to, like some controversial ones. hack a woman's mind. Alright, yeah, we'll leave it there. I'll leave his channel open and I'll sell some videos. We'll do the Dark Needle if we get time. Next time as well, we'll do Mr. LFA here. 149,000. Sorry, I always round stuff up. I always just go rough. Read his description here. Just sharing my experience. Pretty humble. Pretty humble. When you give up, results start coming. This guy, I'd say, he's another level up of maturity. This guy, I see him as a lot more mature than Taraban and Mr. Dark Needle. You know, he's got more a broad niche. He's, you know, big on masculinity, brotherhood, dating, just very general, you know what I mean? But I want to just focus on the women, on the feminine and masculine content part to see, you know, if this influencer has, you know, he's not making these psychological claims that he knows that are deep psychological facts about the women's brain and psychology. So he's not as YouTubey, you know what I mean? He's more of journal and vlog. So he's not as, what's the word? Like markety, you know what I mean? He's not as markety as like this stuff, you know what I mean? So it's just more maturity. So we'll do a couple of his videos and we'll come back to this guy, and there's just a lot more that we're going to go into. So I'll see you next one. All right, good luck to you.